This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you today talking about real estate investing, flipping houses, and wholesaling houses, and kind of a warning for 2019. Now, there's been a lot of talk for real estate investing, and it's a great medium, a great way for you to bring long-term wealth. And with so many different channels in the medium that we live in now with the information age, everybody's doing it. You got a lot of new people coming in making claims, and some of them are very legitimate. You know, that individual may be doing $20,000 just in wholesaling alone. I want to kind of give my background, and that's why I'm putting this video together for a little bit of warning. 1999 I bought my first real estate deal, and it was just a different time. I didn't know for that time that I was coming out of. I didn't know that I was reaping the benefit of a market crash prior that led me to be able to build my first deal. My credit was so bad at that time. I was doing the deal. The only bank that was going to give me a loan was they was doing at 13%. So I still was able to make the deal work at 13%. I fell in love with real estate, liked the idea of it. That one property propelled me to start doing other things in terms of start buying properties to flip. I held that property for a couple of years. The market went up. I was able to take money out of that property and utilize it to start my wholesaling and real estate flipping career. And this is the different time because, I didn't understand market cycles and economics that were going along with making this possible for me to be able to do this. Of course, like anybody new coming into this space, after a couple of years of doing it, I'm thinking I'm a genius. I'm going to do this full time. I quit my job doing accounting work for law firm Grumman at the time, and really started diving into this. And I had a good run. My wife was able to stay home. I had employees, and I was able to do this for a while until 2009, 2008 happened, and you had your crash. And that crash changed my life. Not only I had to come to myself realizing that all the things that I thought that I knew that I didn't know. And I got the first financial FU of my life when people who lost their employment, some of my tenants were skipping out, not paying the rent. I had two properties on the market that had difficulties with the contractor finishing, and it was when I was dealing with the problem. Every time you open up a wall, there's different things that's not going to be seen, and so I put extra money out there doing that. And I had this is another thing about personally, was that my second child was being born at the same time. And since I'm self-employed, I'm paying for that out of pocket. So I have all of these different costs going on at the same time. Then you have a crash, and now the banks are not lending. Fast forward to where we're at now, that I had to liquidate everything. Tough time. Glad I was able to get through it. Taught me a lot. But I was almost financially ruined, and I missed out on the run that we had since 2010-11 and seen a lot of new people come in. So I'm saying this is because I'm not coming from one individual who's talking from not having experience. I have had experience. Not only that, I worked 5 years in the nonprofit giving credit, financial, and housing counsel. I was a counselor for that basis of that. I also lent money to real estate investors. And I'm working as a project manager for construction loans for hard money lending now. And a lot of the problems that I saw from back then are just repeating itself, but at a much worse case because people really don't have the experience to go along before 2008. When I was doing my deals, I was able to build enough so I can have a line of credit. A lot of individuals are using hard money lenders. And that's where the space is moving, because that doesn't base on your credit. You can just particular deal, and they base on an asset base for a lot of these different individuals. However, a number of them have never experienced that 2008 crash, don't have kind of a background to go in it. So if you're one of those, this video is for you. Number one warning I'm giving you is that projects take a lot longer than you think they do. And even if you're doing a flip and you have a contractor that's been around that's doing the work for you, and you've been with you well, or you're doing the work, every time you open up a wall, every time you do something with that, there's always going to put more time into your project than you think it is. So you need to really allocate, if they really allocate another extra month or two for it, not only just to finish the project, how long it's going to sit. Number two, contractors. Contractors can ruin any project. They're always an issue. And even if you have them on on deck and they've been around with you a while, they always seem to come into these issues where they have problems and they can mess up your project, which then extends it longer than you anticipated. That's why I go back to number one problem of anytime you're doing a real estate flip project and you're opening up a wall or anything of that nature, it's always going to take longer. Contractors make or break your project, and you really need to understand that. Number three, if you're utilizing a hard money lender, you really need to understand the fine print. If they're telling you no money down, you don't need anything to get started, we'll fund the project, there's always a cost at the end. What I'm finding out now, just working directly within a hard money lender as a project manager for new construction and renovations, individuals are not reading the contracts. And they're coming at the end to find out that the balloon payment is due and you don't have the capital to fund that. So therefore, which even makes more pressure for you to sell that property. You have to take that into consideration. Number four, we've never been in an economic time where each generation is overextended with debt. And why I say that is because real estate only functions for people getting employed and people being able to take on debt. As we've seen with the last, and this people think it's not really applicable to them, as we saw with the last government shutdown, these are the higher end employees having trouble paying the mortgage. You have to take that into consideration when you're thinking about doing real estate flipping, wholesaling, or any form of fashion when you're doing that, because that's the times that we're living in. So if your market is constantly going up and you think you have a good working market, you have to take consideration where we're going as a country. This is something that I didn't really pay attention to, but again, it's worth saying. Number four, we're long in the tooth of this economic expansion, and we already started seeing signs of the market, real estate market, slowing down. Projects are taking longer. People are not able to get contracts and get loans the way they've done. You have to take that into consideration as well. And finally, and this kind of ties everything together, regardless of what is being dictated and pushed on the internet, real estate requires the highest level of financial education. It is not liquid, and you can get caught where you can miss out on a great opportunity and cycle because you overextended yourself. I see this every day. Not only have I experienced it, I just see it every day. People take on massive amounts of risk and not realizing this particular factor. So again, this doesn't want to discourage you, just giving a warning to real estate investors and flippers who are just getting started in this particular time frame. They do not have enough experience to go back from, and you may not be as cautious as you need to be. With that being said, real estate investing is one of the greatest platforms for you to develop wealth long term. Make sure your financial education is at its highest. Take in consideration the different things that I mentioned there. And until my next video, if this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, and I'm out.